To follow breaking news on several fronts, including the fact that a federal grand jury has now indicted the 4 other Minneapolis police officers, all 4 in fact, in connection with the death of George Floyd, either those who knelt on his neck or those who watched. Derek Chauvin, Tao Tao, J. Alexander Kooning, and Thomas Lane, the feds alleging that all 4 officers violated Floyd's constitutional rights. Our chief legal correspondent, Dr. Laura McNeal, joins us now. And Dr. Laura, fascinating in this because they are accused of depriving him of his right to be free of the use of unreasonable force by a police officer. The wording of this is fascinating indeed.
Yes, they had to be very crafty because there's technically not any federal murder charges they could bring. So they had to figure out how can they bring charges based on our federal civil rights statutes. And so very, very creative language. And this is so significant, Dale, because what they have done, meaning they, the Department of Justice under the leadership of Merrick Garland, is they've expanded how we read or interpret some of these federal civil rights statutes to cover these types of situations. This is definitely groundbreaking and sends a very powerful message.
Dr. Laura, also one of the things is something that we discussed at length during the trial, which is that during the trial we were not able to hear anything about Derek Chauvin's past. And yet it now appears that a federal grand jury was receiving evidence and found that evidence to be credible, that what happened in 2017 also was not only a violation of civil rights, but also indictable. Your thoughts?
Yes, and so they also talked about the previous incident where Derek Chauvin allegedly was holding a juvenile by the throat. Can you imagine that? A child, and hitting that minor multiple times on the head with a flashlight. And so I'm really happy that they were able, through this federal investigation, to put the spotlight on this because while I was covering this case in Minneapolis, Dale, several residents, local residents, were telling me about this assault on a juvenile. And we know that Jerry Blackwell, one of the prosecutors in the case, decided not to try to include that evidence because he felt like the video evidence of the killing of George Floyd was enough and he didn't need that additional information.
And Dr. Laura, as they say, there's a new sheriff in town. There's Merrick Garland now at the Justice Department. And the fact that we are now seeing grand jury indictments, because of the timing of these indictments, is it safe to say this really had nothing to do with Merrick Garland being at the White House and that this case was being presented long before the change of administrations?
Yeah, so we've actually known for months that the Department of Justice was considering pressing charges against those 4 Minneapolis officers. So we knew an investigation was ongoing. The fact that it's actually been put into play, meaning official charges are going to be filed, an indictment today, I still think that speaks volumes about Merrick Garland's leadership, because we've seen a lot of times there's these symbolic acts that go nowhere. And so the fact that they are actually moving forward, I do think is influenced by Merrick Garland's leadership. And if I could just stress for a moment, Dale, what's so fascinating about these charges is that typically, routinely, historically, the Department of Justice kind of takes a back seat. They let the state handle state charges. They see how that goes, and they intervene only if the state charges don't seem to bring forth justice. This is a very different approach for the Department of Justice to get involved while there's these ongoing state charges. And so it'll be interesting to see what they do, meaning they might strike a deal. They might say, you know what, we think the state charges were sufficient enough, and they may not take it any further. But what it does, it sends a sign that says we do have federal oversight on these civil rights violations. We're watching, we're ready to step in if necessary and take this all the way.
I'm curious. Now we have a $27 million civil settlement with the city of Minneapolis. We have the guilty verdict in the Derek Chauvin case. Now we have this federal indictment, civil rights indictments. If you are the other 3 individuals that were indicted, the former police officers, what do you do? Because even if they plead to the state charges, they still would be facing the federal charges.
Yes, if you were Tao, Lane, and King, those former officers, you still need to try to cut a deal at this point. The writing's on the wall, as my grandmother used to say. The charges against them are so well supported by the evidence, by the videos. We saw the outcome in the Derek Chauvin case. It's in their best interest to cut a deal. What they should have considered is turning state's witnesses earlier in the process when the Derek Chauvin trial was still in play. I don't know if that was an option that the prosecutors were even willing to consider, but they should have tried. And so I think that they're definitely going to have some sleepless nights knowing what is looming in the backdrop, that August 23rd hearing for the state charges with that dream team, Jerry Blackwell, as well as the other prosecuting attorneys in that case, and then now these federal charges.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the first time I can recall the full weight of the law coming down on a police department. There was the announcement that they are going to investigate the police department. The Justice Department is going to launch an investigation. The city saying it welcomes that. Like we said, there is the civil suit. There was the guilty verdicts against Derek Chauvin. The others will be on trial in August. Their legal bills will be mounting up. And now these civil rights violations. I can't remember in my history a time when we saw the full force of not just the federal government, but also state and local government coming down on a bunch of police officers. Your thoughts?
I agree. I don't ever remember seeing literally a full court press, as we would say, on all fronts, on a state front, on a national front with the Department of Justice at the same time. And that's why it's so important who's in that key position that Attorney General Merrick Garland is currently in, because it really makes a difference in terms of are they going to take a laissez-faire approach and kind of look the other way? Or are they really going to say, you know what, we're going to back our what we're saying essentially with our actions? And so this full court press, as I like to refer to it, is so significant, Del, because it also says, as you said, there's a new sheriff in town, but that we're going to hold, meaning the Department of Justice, police officers accountable. They're going to make it where it's too expensive as an incentive to afford for a local police department to have police misconduct, because as you mentioned, there's a $27 million settlement, the $12.5 million settlement in the Breonna Taylor case. Now you have federal charges looming on your police department, state charges. Like, it is too expensive and it's such a bad PR look to where it hopefully, I say it optimistically, Dale, will disincentivize police departments from simply doing what they've done for years and simply looking the other way and just doing a simple tap on the hand for misconduct. Now they're going to be held accountable. Now they see the consequences of not holding their officers accountable.
And I want to bring in somebody else who's no stranger to our airwaves here on BNC, Rick Petry, who was with us through the entire trial. And Rick, now we have the indictment of the all four officers involved in the George Floyd case being indicted by a federal grand jury. Your thoughts on what is coming down out of Minneapolis now?
Yeah, this is a real game changer, Dale. I heard the conversation earlier about the weight of the federal government, but it also creates a tremendous leverage point. Recall that the DOJ is investigating the entire Minneapolis Police Department. This indictment carries with it, upon conviction, potentially a life sentence. And if you want to find a way to get someone's attention, to get them to play ball in the bigger scope of this investigation, this indictment and the charges and the potential consequences that will come with it is certainly a way to get someone's attention. So this is a total game changer.
Rick, this indictment alleges that Derek Chauvin was a dirty cop, a bad cop, in the sense that he knelt on a 14-year-old in 2017, and he has been indicted for that. He has 3 guilty verdicts against him in connection with the death of George Floyd. Where does the city of Minneapolis pay for basically keeping someone on the force that in 2017 it, by all accounts, should have released?
Yeah, Del, the reality is this police department has been a problem for years, and everybody's known about it. The challenge was it's a very complicated solution to make the changes that need to be made. With this investigation being underway, and frankly with the new chief, who was a former member of the department, who sued the department, I think that there's a great opportunity now to see some reform happening. But if you look at, for example, these officers get fired and then they go through arbitration. Because of the arbitration proceedings, they end up getting sent back in. And so it made it very difficult to get even bad officers like Chauvin out of there. But hopefully this will mark a real turning point in the way that policing is done, not only here in Minneapolis, but across the country.
Dr. Laura, what does this do now to the appeal? And specifically, let's talk about the case also of Rayshard Brooks in Atlanta, Garrett Rolfe. What does this do to other officers who might be awaiting trial? What fire does this light under them now that it appears that things are actually changing with regards to how law enforcement is treated with regards to these deaths?
So, Dale, what it does is I think it's, again, going to incentivize cities like Atlanta to say, you know what, we need to go ahead and move forward with charges against Officer Wolf. That's the officer that shot Rayshard Brooks in the back. We know that Rayshard Brooks was shot just 2 weeks after George Floyd's death, and yet George Floyd's killer, Derek Chauvin, has been charged, tried, and awaiting sentencing in June, yet we don't even have a trial date for Rayshard Brooks. And so I think that will be what I'm anticipating the next focus of the Department of Justice's investigations in terms of where they're really narrowing in on, because the only reason Rayshard Brooks has not been charged is the current prosecutor doesn't feel that their office should move forward because of some conflicts of interest, some alleged misconduct that happened under the previous administration. But for the families of Rayshard Brooks, they don't care about that kind of stuff. What they care about is, are you going to do your job, meaning the DA in Atlanta, and are you going to pursue this case and get justice for our family member, Rayshard Brooks? And so I think it's going to make that District Attorney Willis there in Fulton County think twice about sitting on this Rayshard Brooks indictment and not moving forward with the case and pursuing justice for Rayshard Brooks' family. And I think we're going to see this across the country, more charges being filed against these rogue police officers.